Hi guys. Um, how are y'all doing? Hope you hey Joe. Um, I am this week. What I'm going to talk about is me. All about me. Yay! No, basically because I have been giving you guys telling you guys all about Lopecia, but you guys don't know who I am. You're like, who is this woman that's telling us about this weird thing that's going on? What's going on now? So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am 58 years old. My name is Lori Bornstein. I am 58 years old. I come from Wyoming. I was born in Sheridan, raised in Casper. Graduated in 79 at Kelly Walsh High School. I have three kids, two boys and a girl. I have been married three times. The first one was my kids' father, and he was an abusive alcoholic and drug addict, so I wound up leaving him. And anyway, I wound up pregnant when I was in high school, graduated. So I went to go live with my sister. I have two sisters and two brothers, and I'm the youngest. So I wound up giving the baby up for adoption, but not without being mommy for a day. I got to feed her and diaper her and love on her, and I wanted to acknowledge that I had had a baby, and this is a situation I had put myself into. And so I gave the parents a little stuffed animal and a letter. This is appropriate for the story later. So I was raised Methodist. I am now Oneness Messianic Jew. And I know you're going, what you're a what? And how did you get from Methodist to Jewish? And well, as Helen Hunt calls us, we are Moo Jews. If you're raised Methodist and you marry a Jew, you're a Moo Jew. I love her. I think she's great. Anyway, so that happened. I graduated. I got pregnant. I put the baby up for adoption. 4 years later, I married an abusive alcoholic drug addict, which I didn't know until, of course, after I married him. I had three kids with him, two boys and a girl. And then, so I left him and I moved to Nevada, where I met my second husband, who didn't drink, and he wasn't abusive. He just didn't like to work. During this whole time, though, I'm trying to figure out where I am with God. I had been to the Potter's House. I had been to Seventh-day Adventists. I have been to non-denominational churches, after my second husband and I didn't work out. I met my third husband, Randy. Here's where the Jew comes in because he's Jewish. He was adopted too, by the way, as it turns out. Had a lot of medical problems, didn't know why he had all these medical problems due to the fact that he was adopted. We didn't know if they were genetic or what the deal was. I was going through my own issues with health. I had a cyst on my ovary, what was left from the partial hysterectomy I had already gotten, and it had grown into the size of a grapefruit. Almost died from that. That was fun. So then I meet my third husband. We finally get married, and my daughter comes to live with us. My boys are mostly living with their dad, unless their dad was in prison or jail, and they would come whenever that would happen. But they didn't like any of my husband, so they didn't like living with me. But my daughter, bless her heart, dealt with all of it. Um, but anyway, so through this whole time, I am trying to figure Yahweh out, trying to figure out, especially when Randy came into my life, because at the time that he came into my life, I was praying to God that he would take me back to the basics, back to when I was 5, back to when I knew there was a God. And so he did that. I actually went through a time, because I didn't understand it, where I went through spiritualism. I went to a spiritualist church. I could read auras. I learned Reiki, and I learned Theta and EMT, the tapping thing. This spiritualist church I went to would actually do seances. I never went to those, but they were really big into psychics and the whole thing. During my time as a spiritualist, my daughter's trying to say something. As by the time that I was a spiritualist, I had learned God was really talking to me then. I mean, he was really talking to me. He was talking to me about Lopi Heijo, and being healthy, wealthy, wise, and energized, and the whole thing. He was talking to me about all of it, and I was trying to make it to work in Las Vegas. But at that time, after this, I had fallen in Walmart, and I had broken my elbow, so they had to reconstruct it. I had messed up my back so bad that a couple of years later I had to have a lapendectomy because nothing else was working. I still have my right leg will still go out. When I got done with the back surgery that I had, of course, I had to be on a walker, and I had to be on a little cart. And every now and then, not very often, but every now and then, I have to have a cane. Scared to death my hip's going to break. But I have some numbness on my right side still. Was it after? Yes, it was definitely after this time. My husband blew up. He had a heart attack, and his body literally blew up. He had turned out he had cirrhosis of the liver. He wasn't a drinker. He did not do drugs. He didn't even smoke. How did this man wind up with cirrhosis of the liver? But it turns out that there are actually people out there, just like people that have never smoked wound up with lung cancer. This is the same thing. And the doctors kept saying, one of the doctors kept saying, "Are you sure he's not sneaking in the closet and drinking a little bit?" And I'm like, no, he's not doing that. So they had to take out all this ammonia, because, I mean, when I say his body exploded, it exploded all over my bathroom floor. Trying to clean that mess up was awful. He just lost all control. It was one of the worst times of my life. My putting my baby up for adoption, my mother passing, and my husband exploding. Those are the 3 worst times in my life. It just absolutely awful. I pray to God, pray to Yah that it never ever happens again. But so they wound up putting a recorder in his heart, which we need to have taken out. Because now we're up in Washington, and it's just there. He refuses to go see a doctor because of the doctors that, yeah, he refuses to go see a doctor. So I've got to take care of him through food and diet, because he has diabetes, he has esophageal varices, he's got 2 ulcers, he's got a thyroid issue. Did I mention diabetes? Oh, and of course the liver thing. However, you can repair the liver. You can. And I have been finding different ways of his eating and things like that he's able to do. So we did that. And that's where I came up with the keto diet, because he needed a different way of eating, and I needed a different way of eating because I have GERD. And I might as well become a vegetarian anyway. So I'm kind of a vegetarian keto person. I love avocados. Oh, it's my new chicken. However, I will eat chicken. Chicken and fish are my two main go-tos when I have to. And I love grapes. Those are my candy when I need something sweet. Frozen grapes are like my ice cream. But anyway, so that's a little bit about me. By the way, some of the miracles that have happened in my life, one of them happened this past on the 6th day of Hanukkah. It was the day after Christmas. I get this message on my messenger, and it says, "Does this look familiar? I don't want to intrude in your life. I don't, want to bother you in any way, but I'm just wondering, just a shot in the dark, does this look familiar?" And guess what it was? It was that little mouse that I gave her parents a long time ago. And she goes, "And my parents have a letter from you, I think, if this is you." So, of course, it was her. And first of all, I was in shock. And the fact that I was able to talk to her, the fact that I was able to, I just knew that she was okay. See, I would bake a cake for her every year. Every year on the 9th, I baked a cake for her. My husband would go out and make sure I had the cake that I could bake for her. And I baked it every year. This past year, I wound up really sick, so I wound up late, but I still baked the cake. But then she got a hold of me, and I was in shock. And I give you all the esteem and all the glory for that. I'm sorry, I'm getting messages here. So that's a little bit about me. I have had miracles the whole way. I became a Messianic Jew because my husband is Jewish, and he's a oneness Jew. He was bar mitzvahed, he went to Hebrew school, he was taught by old Kabbalah Jews that couldn't speak English. All they spoke was Yiddish. I am learning Hebrew. Slowly but surely, I am learning Hebrew. But I went to a oneness apostolic church. See, God will put you through these different experiences, and what you it's like when they went through the desert. They had to glean certain things. He gave them the 10 Commandments. He, tried to show them how to worship him and how to treat each other. So Yahweh has been kind of doing that through my life. And he explained to me how the oneness works. Now, I was a Trinitarian at first. I felt like I was betraying Jesus by believing that. But how can you betray Yeshua when he is God? He was there at the beginning. He created the world. Yahweh even says, "I am that I am. There is no one beside me. There is no one after me. There is no one before me." In the Shema it says, "Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Ahad." The Lord is one. There's just so many. But for those of you that are Trinitarian, I get it. For those of you that are Messianic but believe in a Father and a Son because of the two-ness, I get it. But I get that God has shown me a way that just makes sense to me in my head, makes sense to me in my spirit, makes sense. I believe in signs. If I find a feather on the ground, to me it means there's an angel close by. I believe in signs all over the place. If I'm struggling with something, Yahweh showed me a sign today. In a store, there was this beautiful tapestry that had a Bible verse on it, and it was straight to me. The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. I needed to hear that, and Yahweh's it was there. He talks to me all the time. I know the signs. I got my grandson, my daughter's son. I had him picking up feathers, and I said, "What do feathers mean?" And he goes, "It means angels are around." He said, "But Daddy told me these are pigeon feathers." And I said, "Yeah, I know they are pigeon feathers. Yes, I know it's a turkey feather. Yes, I know, but it's a sign." It's a sign that you've got your angels around you, and that's a very good thing. So, yes, I believe in signs. In fact, I heard something today that said, I don't have to believe in signs anymore. Well, that's nice. That's nice. Maybe I'm just not there yet. So anyway, so now I'm in Chihuahua where I can walk anywhere I want to because I totaled my car in Las Vegas, and it's amazing I didn't kill my husband because I almost did. But my husband is a walking, breathing miracle. Just the fact that he blew up and he had a heart attack, and we had to get him rehabilitated. And I learned about sundowners and the whole bit. Never I want to go through that again. But here I am in Chihuahua, very small town. I can walk anywhere I need to go. I don't need a car. I can drive, but they told me I can't drive because I totaled my car. How many people have totaled their car and they never drove again? It's okay. I don't need the expense, and I can walk anywhere I need to go. If I need to go to the doctor, if I need to go to the bank, if I need to go to the post office. I went and got something notarized and put it in the mail today, and I didn't drive anywhere. I walked. It was wonderful. I can walk anywhere I want to go. Who needs a car? The only time I need a car is when my daughter goes shopping, and she goes shopping every day on Friday, which is great for my prep day because I prep for Shabbat on Saturday night, Sunday night. And on Saturday night, Sunday night, I do no work. It's all straight God, 24 hours. Doesn't kill you. Anyway, so you get the Lopihejo. You kind of get the oneness thing. So what's up with the It Works at the end of every video? Because I don't want to ask for donations. I really, really don't. I want to support Lopihejo through a company. It's a faith-based company. It's been around since 2001 or 2. Very faithful people, very wonderful people. And I want to support Lopihejo with It Works because the products are good. I've tried many different brands of hair, skin, and nails, and the It Works hair, skin, and nails beats them out. I love the keto. The Thermal X is great. I've just been taking that for the past couple of weeks, and I can notice a difference. I put on pants yesterday that I have not been able to wear in over a year. So I was just ecstatic about that. Been trying to walk. I'm trying to get back into my power walking because I'm a huge power walker. It was kind of funny today. I walk around this track, right? And there's this guy that's just running. He's running. He's doing his laps. And I'm like, oh, maybe I can do that. And so to get my heartbeat, I'll do a little jog for a small distance. I'm scared to death of breaking my hip. But I do a little kind of a jog just for, I'm terrible at distances, but, a little bit there. Just enough to get my heart rate up. And I can just imagine him saying, "Oh, how cute. She's trying to run." I'm not trying to run, I'm trying to jog. Leave me alone. Um, so, yes, that's my inferiority complex showing. I was raised, I'm the youngest of 5 kids. So, when you're the youngest of 5 kids, you learn to respect your elders. You learn that everybody else is right and you're wrong all the time. And you don't learn to argue with anybody. And you're raised with an I've had an inferiority complex the whole time I was growing up. I have recently, well, not recently, but lately, it's gone. That was probably the last little bit of inferiority complex I've had. Actually, didn't bother me at all. I was just thinking how funny if you thought that. But anyway, that's why I do the It Works. I'm not doing the Lopi Heijo to sell the It Works. The It Works is helping support Lopi Heijo. So that's it for now. If you like, if you're interested in any of the It Works products, email me at LOPEHAJO, Lopihejo, at AOL.com. If you need prayer for anything, I'm a huge prayer warrior. If you need prayer for anything, email me. Leave a comment below. Click the subscribe button and the little bell so you'll know the next time there's a video coming up. And please push the like button. And as I will see you next week, and we will talk about joy, because there's nothing like joy. Lopi Heijo and Shalom.